YouTube, we're back for our next section of Theros spoilers. Today we're gonna do blue. Everyone's here, and today we have a new friend. His name is Aiden.
Sup?
Yeah, that's him. You guys can check out he in the comments. In the comments below we will put a link to his channel in the description. We'll put a link to his channel. He has a channel with a bunch of gaming stuff like Minecraft, Call of Duty, stuff like that. You guys should enjoy it. But today we're here to talk about Magic, and we're going to start off with Blue today. Today was the first day with all the spoilers out. They just came out about 2 hours ago, maybe. And we're going to start with Blue. Okay, first card, Annual. For 1 blue, it's an instant. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. What do you guys think?
So usually this card would seem pretty goddamn bad.
Yeah.
Because, like Negate and earlier formats, these cards are not very playable, but it seems like the new ability, like Bestow, when it can come as a creature, so it makes this card much better.
Also, not to interrupt, but it can counter gods.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. So like a lot of creatures are also gods, and a lot of artifacts. So it's like a combination of all the three.
Yeah.
So it might be a worse essence scatter. What I think it's that's what I think. It's gonna be a worse essence scatter.
Sure.
I think Essence Scatter will still take its place, and the new counter spell, which we'll get to soon, is even better.
Okay. Next card. Akia's Form. For 1 blue, enchant a creature. The enchanted creature can't be blocked. It doesn't say unblockable because of the new rules in M14. And whenever enchanted creature attacks, scry 1. What do you guys think?
Well, it's insane. Aiden, anything to say?
Yeah, I definitely like this. And there could be some sort of new unblockability deck. Certainly limited with a lot of monstrous creatures. Just throw this kind of monstrous, scry 1 pretty much every turn with unblockability. I think that's insane for 1 mana.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you can be 2 for 1, but Jack, what do you think?
Okay, yeah, don't forget about me. So, when I saw this, I was just like, well, there has to be a downside because, I've seen cards that, Artful Dodge was kind of like this, but it was only for 1 turn. The thing about this is that I think that the unblockable is probably the biggest part, but the Scry one really just puts it over the top because being able to set up your draws for every single turn, because they can't block it, so they can't kill it. So I just think that it's like a really, really good limited card, and it might even make its way to constructed.
Wait, so is it first pickable? What do you think?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if it's first pickable, but I'll be very happy if I get it third pick or
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and again, yeah, and like all the enchantments in this format, it works with heroic. So maybe heroicing a guy, he gets a counter, make him bigger, he becomes unblockable, and then you get to like Jack said, making setting up your draws every turn is really strong. Okay. Next card. For 1 in a blue, Artisan of Forms, heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Artisan of Forms, you may have Artisan of Forms become a copy of target creature and gain this ability. What do you guys think?
Personally, I'm not a big fan of it because Artisan of Forms is taking way too many factors to be a good card.
Yeah.
First of all, it's 2 mana, so it's going to take you a 2 mana turn. Or turn 2. Second of all, it requires a heroic trigger. And third of all, it's going to require a good creature on the battlefield to actually get some value out of it.
Yeah, and cards like that usually aren't too strong. Especially in draft, when you copy a creature, you'll copy a 3/3, maybe if you're lucky, some good rare, but you're never going to be able to actually get the full value out of this.
So, I'm just going to say this. If you're on the play in Standard, you play this. Okay, no, you're on the draw, sorry. You play this turn 2, then you play a Smiter turn 3. Next turn, you untap, target it with a Quaeus Form, attack with unblockable scry 1.
I mean, that's pretty good when you look at it like that, but that's getting everything in the right alignment.
Yeah,
I feel like...
That's assuming that
the fact that it can change, that it's really, it can change between creatures, I think it depends on how many, cards that target your creature, pump spells or stuff that'll be played in standard because if there are only a couple in a certain deck, this is just gonna be a terrible card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Wait, one
it's
second.
actually
Someone's eating cookies. It's kind of loud.
Aiden.
Aiden.
Not me.
Yeah, it's kind of loud. At least move your cookies from the mic.
Fine.
Okay. Keep going.
Well, yeah. So this card actually reminds me of the Pegasus we talked in the last video about. The one
Right.
that
We
gives
can
all
actually
units-
find it. It's
Yeah.
this guy, Cavalry Pegasus.
Yes. So it gives all humans plus flying. So that card is not very good. It's a 1/1 for 2.
Yeah.
With flying, but when you have a lot of humans, it can actually change a lot of the stuff. So the same with this. If you have a lot of cards that target this creature, and it does said that there are many, it can be very good.
Yeah.
So I think
yeah.
it's nuts in some decks.
Okay. Any other things to say about it? I think we all agree it's not really standard playable unless you're trying to set up something like Jack just said.
It might be some sort of crazy combo deck that
Yeah, I think it could be a combo deck or maybe blue
I'm gonna do
sideboard.
it.
Like for example, if the legend rule was still in effect, where if you have the same legend as your opponent, then they both die. Then this is basically a clone for 2 mana, assuming you have something to target it. So that's something to think about, but that rule is no longer in effect, so that doesn't work.
Alright, let's move on to Benthic Giant.
Interesting card. Actually, not really. 6 mana.
I'm gonna say it's a Rubble Belt Raiders
Yeah.
that has
Mock.
plus
No,
plus-
Rhino.
Sorry, Rubble Belt Rhino.
Yeah.
In blue, and for 1 more mox +1/+1. I feel like because from what I've seen, there's a fairly there's a lack of removal that can hit a creature with toughness 5 or greater. I think that the hexproof might not be that valuable about it. I think it's just a beater that's
Yeah.
fairly big.
Yeah.
I would have to agree. I'm also going to say that since a lot of creatures in this format have monstrous, creatures are going to be getting big in the late game. And having
Yeah.
a 6-mana 4/5, despite the fact that it is hexproof, is still not going to be enough power and toughness to overpower a monstrous creature.
Yeah.
Also, this set seems to be very fast. So having a 6-drop, which is not that relevant, I guess. I mean, I guess it can do some work, but also, like Jack said, there's not much removal. So it seems like people will win by turn 6.
And
if you,
I have to say I disagree with that just a bit. With things like Bestow and Monstrosity, I feel like the games can go on longer. Yeah, the games will go on a bit longer, but what Jordan is referring to is that there are a lot of 2/1s and 2 mana 3/3s and 3 mana 3/3s and like a lot of the time in drafts you're gonna find an aggro deck, and against that kind of deck, yes, a card like Benthic Giant is generally pretty bad.
actually, yeah, I think the format is pretty fast. I mean, of course, it's much faster than M14. We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Yes. Alright, let's keep going.
Bident of Thassa. The legendary enchantment artifact, it's from the cycle. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. 1 in a blue, tap. Creatures your opponents control attack this turn if able. What do we think?
I love it.
Love it.
Okay, first of all, this pairs well with any type of token-based deck, like blue, white, red, and especially Bant, which I think will be a thing post-rotation because of Prophet of Crucifix, Plasm Capture, and just all the other goodies that Bant's getting. But not just that, is it the fact with getting many tokens, say with Assembled Legion, which you can curve out into, that's going to be like an insane, almost an opportunity per turn once it gets going.
That's true. That is there's a lot of interesting cards that work well with this card.
Definitely the best of the cycle.
Okay. Bold statement from Aiden. Anyone else?
Well, the white one might be. I don't know. Okay, yeah.
So it's good, maybe because, getting that ability to make all your guys scroll thieves, it's really valuable because you can kind of just, if you have a lot of money, you can kind of just attack if they kill a couple of your guys. Well, if a couple of your guys get through, you can just draw cards and replace the guys that you lost.
Yeah.
Also, making their creatures attack, I think in this format, at least in Standard, might be... I think it's definitely going to be good just because of that ability is just really powerful. I think that it won't be as good as it was in this format, like right now.
I think you guys notice it. You guys just didn't point it out that making them attack with their creatures makes them all tapped,
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
and
that's
then
the
you
point of the
attack
card.
through and draw infinite cards. So yeah,
It's a combo.
it's a combo on one card. So yeah, it's pretty good.
I guess. Sure.
Breaching
Uh,
Hippocamp.
yeah.
3/2 flash. When it enters the battlefield, untap another target creature you control. This reminds me a lot of
It's a horsefish.
I was about to say that's a horsefish.
it's a horsefish.
It's
I
a horsefish.
don't think I've seen. There was the frog lizard in Gate Crash Gate Crash. But horsefish sounds quite good.
Pretty much.
This reminds me of the Briar Pack Alpha, which
Yeah.
which is correct me if I'm wrong. Is Briar Pack Alpha a 3/2?
It's a 3/3 for 4.
3/3.
So it's a
And
3/3
when
for
an
4,
ATB
and
plus two.
and it gives something +2/+2, and this untaps it. And they're both very similar because untapping a creature gives you a creature to block. I mean, it's interesting. What
It's
do you
not
guys
bad.
think?
I mean, it's not the worst. It's not the best. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
a trick.
It's a good 5th through 7th, maybe a bit after that pickup in a draft.
Yeah.
Definitely playable.
Definitely playable. Yeah, it should fit in your 23.
If you see it late, like in the draft, you know your color is probably open.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, sure.
I
Jack.
think it might be better late, like with the Benthic Giant that we talked about. You know, if you attack with that and they attack, you flash that and you can untap. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say that's worse than Briar Pack Alpha, just because of how good Briar Pack Alpha
well,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think it's like a Briar Pack Alpha scaled down a little bit, just because
Yeah.
of how good. You know,
I mean,
Briar
it's a comment, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Briar Pack also is an uncommon, so you can't expect a common to be as good as that. Okay, let's keep moving. Coastline Chimera.
Chimera.
Chimera. Say that again?
Chimera, Emil.
Chimera. Okay. And creature type Chimera. How many other Chimeras do we know?
Is it not Chimera?
Jordan's Israeli accent is
Yep.
quite
There are a lot
interesting.
of Chimeras.
Really? Okay. None in current standard, I don't think.
No.
1/5 flyer, and it can block an additional creature this turn, for a colorless and a white. What do you guys think?
Like, I guess in limited, this can block for a couple turns. I would not play this.
Yeah, I mean,
I might play it just because, you know.
it's at the level of Angelic Wall.
Sure. Yes.
Well,
It's something
yeah.
you don't want to play because it doesn't fit in the format too well. Most of the creatures in this format might be bigger than 5 toughness, and double blocking almost always won't work because any 2 creatures add up to more than 5 or 2/5. 1 power won't kill many things. Many things are 1/2s or greater toughness. There are some 2/1s, but I feel like it just doesn't fit in the format too well.
Okay, so
Yeah.
pretty much just not that great. Go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Don't pick it early.
Don't pick it
Don't
early.
pick it.
Yeah. Crackling Triton. It's a merfolk wizard for 2 and a blue. For 2 and a red, sacrifice Crackling Triton. Crackling Triton deals 2 damage to target creature or player.
If only damage went on the stack.
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, what Jack means, if you guys don't know, is that damage used to go on the stack, which means that the 2 damage that it would deal in combat would be in a way recorded, so it will happen. But then before the 2 damage happens, you could sack it and deal 2 more damage to something, and still be able to deal the 2 damage to the thing that it was dealing the 2 damage to earlier.
Pretty much you play it because, you know, it's a 2/3 for 3 that you can kill something like a flyer
Yeah.
if it's like really killing you.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say pick it around 5, 6, 7.
If you're going blue-red. If you're not going blue-red, then a 2/3 with a not usable ability is not good for 3.
Yeah. Definitely not.
Yeah, it's
Not a good pick.
along, like, what we didn't really mention is that with Coastline Chimera, these are some of the first cards that we've seen that actually use a different color, like that are multicolored.
There are a lot.
There are a lot, but I don't think we've seen too many.
Not yet.
Not yet. By the way, we did miss some white spoilers because they weren't all out yesterday. We will go back to those in a future video, so don't worry. We know
Can I
that
do
we
the
skipped
next
them.
card?
Actually, wait. I want to say something.
Yeah.
I know some people might actually look at this card and say, "Oh, it's insane," but from what I've noticed, that so in M14 2/3 seems seem much better. Like they're really good.
Yeah.
But this format, 2-3 is much worse.
Yeah.
Because there are
Definitely.
many 3-3s that are commons, and it's just not very good. But it's fine card. I mean,
Yeah.
They're never gonna cast their removal on it, so like they're never gonna like target it with like a removal spell that you
Yeah.
sack in response. Also, you always have to keep up 3 mana,
Yeah.
and
That's
that's
difficult.
so hard. Like
Yeah.
especially when you get to the
That's true.
Yeah.
But being able to sacrifice is useful because especially with removal spells that say like destroy target creature, scry one, they don't get to scry one if you sack it.
well, okay.
it's fine. Let's
Yeah,
go on.
it's fine.
Alright, can I introduce the next card?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
Alright, this card is Baconate. Baconate is 1x mana and 2 blue, sorry. Exile X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller puts a 2/2 bacon token onto the battlefield. Alright, go on.
So a bit of flavor added from Aiden, but
Big name.
Baconate.
You're making me hungry.
No. Alright, but I have some comments since I was considering playing this in my Esper, which I'm not going to run anymore. But the thing is, here's the problem with it. It's a wrath for your opponent, but it's giving them 2/2s. So I think a lot of decks are going to have a problem. Like, sure, you're destroying
a god.
a god or whatever you want, but they still have some sort of presence. Like, say I'm low in life, and my opponent has a huge board state. I want to get a verdict. I want to get it all away. But what do I get? No, I give them pigs. I don't want them to have any creatures.
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna do something useful. I'm gonna search indestructible on the page. So there are 7 indestructible cards in this set. 5 of them are gods, and there must be 2 others that we will see later. This lets you deal with the indestructible creatures so that your wrath then takes care of them. So I find this card it's useful. There are
With Ratchet Bomb, it's pretty good.
yeah.
Well, also you can exile it from the graveyard.
True.
Oh.
So you
That's
can-
relevant.
Yeah. So yeah. Sure.
You can exile your own guys and like I don't know, maybe
Oh.
there's a self-heal deck, and then you can exile your guys and get a win condition with that.
I think Jordan just saw something that none of us saw. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Anyway, get
Although
bacon.
actually, I'm not. So YouTube watchers, watch out. We might be wrong about that because usually the card would say you can also exile things from graveyards.
No, you can't exile things from graveyard.
You can? Okay.
No, you cannot.
You cannot.
No.
No. Okay. So then what we just said is stupid and don't listen to us. Um.
God damn it.
Only exile the creatures that are on the battlefield.
Yeah. Okay. But
It's gone to the new best counterspell.
dissolve. It is dissipate. And I'm gonna explain to you for just a second why.
Well,
It's cancel with an added ability, which is actually closer to dissipate. But here's what I'm just gonna really quickly say this. The reason that in the current format, dissolve is, in my mind, strictly better than dissipate is the following. There used to be a lot of flashback spells and cards like Unburial Rites that could get creatures back from your graveyard. But at the moment in the current standard, there are many less ways to get creatures from your graveyard. Very few ways to use your graveyard.
Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Scavenging Ooze, but taking away one target is partially pointless. Especially in a blue deck that runs verdicts. If you want to get rid of the Ooze, you can just verdict. So Ooze isn't going to be a problem. But scrying one is setting up your next draw, which is in this format, this next standard format, more useful than exiling the card.
Agreed.
So
Yeah.
the thing about that is that dissipate isn't going to be in standard.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, if people are trying to say that it's a downgrade to dissipate, it's not. Not in the current standard format.
Sure.
Also, I gotta say, it's not bad. I would still prefer Dissipate over that, because there will be Angel of Serenity, there will be Scavenging Ooze, and Graveyard will still be a thing. Scrying 1 is helpful, but with things like Thassa for blue decks, Scrying 1 for a counterspell is, I want to say, useful, but not as useful as it could be.
Yeah.
For a deck that doesn't run Thassa or like a Scry ability like the unblockable one, it's pretty good. And even decks that do, I think, will still run it, because it's better than Cancel.
Okay.
It's better than Cancel, and I also think it's better than Syncopate. I've never been a fan of Syncopate, mainly because I find that after turn 4 or 5, Syncopate is very useless, except for countering other revelations, which cards like Dispel or Dissolve will just be better at.
How good is it in draft?
No.
I mean, like always, if you're running blue, like in M14, this card would be very strong.
Yeah, but in this set, it's pretty bad.
In this set, there are so many threats that being able to counter one of them isn't as good as it could have been in M14.
The thing about it is that a cancel is pretty much going to be playable in every format. I think that this is actually more of like a highest third pick, because just being able to counter a spell for 3 mana, it's already fine. But being able to set up your draws, even with a Scry 1, I think that's fairly valuable.
Yeah.
Okay, Fate Foretold.
Fate Foretold. Enchant creature. When Fate Foretold enters the battlefield, draw a card. When the enchanted creature dies, its controller draws a card. It does get you 2 cards, but
At best.
At best,
Heroic, ... That's
Yeah.
it.
It's
Yeah.
like a drawn-out divination, kind of.
At
Yeah.
least
for
at
1 less
very
mana,
least.
but you need the creature. I mean,
It doesn't get you card advantage.
it doesn't get you
That's the thing.
card advantage. Because you play it, you lost this Fate Foretold, which is, quite frankly, not really important. And if the creature dies, which is something you don't want to happen, you don't want your creatures to be dying, then you get to draw cards, so, I mean, no. It's like Murder Investigation. It's not a good card.
I think we should speed this up a bit.
Yeah.
So, let's keep going to Gainsay.
Gainsay. Gainsay, counter-target blue spell. Draft, definitely not main deckable.
Sideboard for standard.
Sideboard for any blue decks in draft. Very close to last pick.
No. I think it's kind of... I put it in the same category as... I'd put it in the same category as Negate, maybe a little bit worse. So, it's like 8th, 9th pick. So it's not like last pickable, because, you know...
But the thing is
against,
that
like, a blue-red
Negate
deck-
has targets in every single deck. This does not.
Well, I mean, this will have targets, like, you can sideboard it in against, like, a...
But Negate is a card that you play main board, because you will find a target for Negate. This you
necessarily.
cannot play main board.
Alright, let's keep going.
Okay.
Riptide.
Griptide.
Reprint.
Reprint.
From Dark Ascension, I think.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Put target creature on top of its owner's library.
Oh, no,
Tanya,
Luminous
that's
Dawn.
instant for 1 more mana.
Yeah.
I think Azorius Charm is better.
Yes.
Azorius
Well-
Charm, I mean, even though Azorius Charm is attacking and blocking, it still gives you more options and it's 2 mana less.
And you get to choose to draw or give your creatures life.
Yeah, more
Limited, good, standard, no.
Yeah.
Horizon Scholar.
4/4 flyer for 6. Powerful on its own. When Horizon Scholar enters the battlefield, scry 2. Powerful on
I
its
think it
own.
is actually the first uncommon Sphinx. I might be wrong.
Ever?
No, Sphinx, there was a Sphinx from Dragon's Maze. It was a 1/5 Vigilance.
Oh, yeah.
Jellin
Yeah,
Sphinx.
Jellin
Jellin
Sphinx.
Sphinx.
Yeah, that's right.
You're correct, Aiden.
Yep. Good
Um,
memory.
I actually really like it because the flyer and limited is always great, no matter what. And the fact that it's 4/4, not bad, but the scry 2, pretty good.
Yeah,
That's good.
So, actually, Sapphire Drake from Gatecrash, it was fine as a 4/4 flyer, because just having
Yeah.
that, like, ability to, push in those last points of damage by having, like, a big flying creature, that's good.
Yeah.
Being able to scry to like, play this, then get another fatty, like, the next turn, I
Yeah.
think that's...
Very
think it's fairly
powerful.
high pick.
Yeah.
Also, I
This
wanted
is-
to remind
Yeah.
I wanted to remind everybody, Gatecrash was a very fast format,
Yeah.
Yes.
and the 4/4 for 6 was, if a 4/4 for 6 was good in that format, this card is gonna be very good in this format.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the
Alright.
thing is that giving all your creatures with +1/+1 counters flying was questionable, because not always did you have +1/+1 creatures. Sometimes they already had flying. Sometimes they were unblockable. And it didn't always help you, but Scry 2 will always help you.
Okay.
Lost in a
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. I've seen this card. I don't like it as
Absolutely
much.
not. I hate it.
No. I mean,
I hate it.
again, any card with Scry on it, like, makes me look at it for a second. But this is gonna blow your opponent out in combat with one creature once,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
So,
sensory deprivation.
one thing that you guys didn't actually see was possibly an end of their turn heroic trigger
yeah,
on your guy.
with Scry. Huh.
Maybe.
That's true.
That's-
That's true.
I actually saw that.
But the thing is, do you want to use a card in your deck to
Exactly.
get a heroic trigger and Scry
And
one?
Scry 1. Maybe. I don't know.
It
No.
seems, it's,
I think we'll have to look at the
No.
format. I think a few weeks into the format, we might do another video, like saying how wrong or right we were about some cards. So that's something we might do.
Master of Waves.
Oh my god, this guy's awesome.
Let me just read it really quickly. 3 and a blue, 2/1. Not the best body, but the ability makes up for it. Protection from red. Elemental creatures you control get +1/+1. When it enters the battlefield, put a number of 1/0 blue elemental creature tokens onto the battlefield equal to your devotion to blue. Now, 1/0 might scare people because they think that the creature's gonna die, but no, elemental creatures you control get +1/+1. I think the first thing that people thought about this card when they read it was Young Pyromancer combo. So,
Hold on. There's one thing that people overlook though. Once you kill Master of Waves, all the elementals die.
that is the, yeah, if they didn't do that, if they made them 0/1 elementals or even 1/1,
That'd be
then
ridiculous.
it, like, this card would be so much better.
No, they're better as 1/0s than they'd be as 0/1s. In my opinion.
Now, as a side topic, since we're talking about mainly standard in drafts, I want to go off and up and say EDH. Now, I play EDH, and this guy is fantastic in EDH. First
Okay.
of all, EDH has a wide variety of, like, devotion,
no one cares EDH.
but, okay.
Okay, YouTube,
Everyone
YouTube,
hold up. There's a card from, I think, Urza's Destiny, and it's called Cultural Exchange. Choose any number of creatures target player controls.
Oh, yeah.
Choose the same number of creatures another target player controls. Those players exchange control of those creatures.
haha,
So pretty much, it's gain control of how many creatures, how many elemental creatures you have of like any other player, and you sacrifice the elementals.
Pretty good.
So yeah.
that sounds pretty darn good.
Alright,
Combo.
Lucas Chamberlain.
Melodus, I think you read that
Charlatan.
wrong. Melodus Charlatan. Charlatan. 2 and a blue for a 2/3. 2 and a blue, tap it. The controller of target instant or sorcery spell copies it. That player may choose new targets for the copy.
Bad Nivix Guild Mage, pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's too much mana for copying.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
Um,
mid pack. I don't
It's
know.
a rare, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
Yeah, it's not a first pickable rare.
Definitely not.
Mnemonic Wall, 4 and a
Refresh.
blue for a 0/4. Again, not the greatest body. It's a defender. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target instant sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's Archaeomancer, that's a 0/4 for 1 extra mana.
So
Not as
this
good as
card-
Archaeomancer.
This card is Pauper Gold. This card won so many Pauper games. Like, you guys won't even know. God, there's a combo. I'm forgetting it. I think it's Ghostly Flicker.
Oh, yeah.
This,
Oh. Oh, wow.
anyway, you just got, like, so many cards, and it was insane, and it was in Pauper, and
But
it was just...
Wouldn't that work with Archaeomancer?
Yeah, I do definitely like the 0/4 body more, because a 1/2 can't block. It's
Yeah.
not just there. 0/4 can block.
Yeah, sure. So the extra mana is worth the better body. Okay. Okay.
This Naiad.
It's a nymph. Bestow for 4 and a blue. It is a 2/2. And it has flying, but the enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and gets flying. What do you guys think?
Good.
Yeah,
I mean,
very
it's
good.
It's not bad as vanilla. I mean, a 3 mana 2/2 flying is.
It's a Windrake.
Yeah.
Windrake's fine. Windrake Plus is very good.
Yeah.
So unlike the white one, which gives it's a 2/2 with vigilance, this one is much better.
Yeah.
I think so, because
Yeah.
flying is a much better ability.
Yeah.
So pretty much they have to kill it, and when they kill it, you get a 2/2 flyer.
You get a Windrake.
So it's pretty much when you like enchant a 3/3 or like a 2/2 with it, your opponents are just gonna put their face in their hands and just cry, because it is that good.
Yeah, because having it's always good to have a 2/2 with flying on the board, even late game, and
Yeah.
so it's like it's great.
Omen Speaker. When Omen Speaker enters the battlefield, scry 2.
Augur of Bolas.
It's an Augur Bolus that has 3, and you can't take cards. So it's not called an Augur
Not as good.
Bolus. It's worse.
It's worse.
It's much
Well,
worse.
yeah.
Fine, though.
It's fine. It's definitely good in draft because Augur Bolus was never too strong in draft because you never packed your deck full of instants or sorceries. But here, it's just getting to organize your draws for the next few turns, and that is it's better in draft because it doesn't require you to have any sort of deck build. And a 1/3 is always a respectable body. I'm not sure about it in this format because there are so many 3-power guys, and flyers that it might be worse.
Well,
But we'll
the thing
see.
is, we have to think how good is Scry 2 for 2 mana.
Pretty good.
So,
bad.
Well,
I
you have a blocker.
Yeah.
yeah,
And and like block their huge guy, and there's no shortage of huge guys. Block their huge guy for a turn. So yeah.
That's fine.
yeah, it seems good.
Ordeal of Thassa. One of the ordeals. Enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then if it has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, sacrifice Ordeal of Thassa. When you sacrifice it, draw 2 cards.
I think either this or the red one are the best because
Definitely.
Yeah.
this makes your guy bigger, and then you also just get straight card advantage. So that's very good.
Yeah. Anything else?
I actually don't think it's very good because it doesn't have immediate impact on the board, and it takes 3
Yeah.
turns for you to draw cards. Well, let's think about this card, and so let's think the main ability is to draw 2 cards to get card advantage.
I mean, you're not even gonna play it on turn 2. You're gonna play it on like turn 5 or 4 maybe.
So
Yeah,
let's
so
say
you
you
go-
hardcast Nimbus Naiad, okay? Turn 4, play an Ordeal of Thassa on like an Omen Speaker, okay? So after 3 turns, so on turn 6, I think, you're gonna refill your hand. And that's gonna be very good. Also, you're gonna have a 5/5 flyer. So
But the thing is, it doesn't have immediate impact on the board, so like a lot of things can happen in 3 turns.
I think that this is a much more slow format than you guys are talking about. Because if you're looking at all these cards, you see they're like 2 2s and 2 1s and like cards that that don't get like immediate impact. Like in Gate Crash, if you had a good Boros deck,
Yeah,
you won.
you won.
It's like you won, period, GG, no read.
Yeah.
That's it.
GLHF.
Okay.
Actually,
What-
I
what
think
you
this
get-
format is pretty fast.
What you guys, we're still gonna be talking about that. Whether it's fast or slow. So I just searched destroy because I wanted to see how many cards actually read destroy target creature. And there are 18 removal spells, assuming that something didn't go wrong. Some card doesn't say it twice. So there are about 18 removal spells, and 18 removal spells for a 249 card format. I don't even know if that's.
Well, you're forgetting like -4/-4 and Magma Jet. Like
Yes, I am. So
there's only a few like just destroy target creature like murder the.
yeah, and then some of them are like destroy target black creature and very situational. But with that much removal and even more than that removal, I'm not sure the ordeals are too good because you're never gonna get to sacrifice the ordeal too often. And
Yeah,
and
that's a
the
strong
+1/+1 counters are gone to any removal. So yeah.
So
Alright,
yeah,
guys. Sadly, I have to go. So.
Oh, we're gonna finish this video without Aiden.
Yes. Goodbye.
Okay,
bye
bye.
then.
Bye.
Sorry about that, guys. Aiden's gotta go. But we're gonna finish this. We've got about 15 more. Prescient Chimera. Another Chimera. Flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, scry 1.
Where
What-
is it?
It's right
Oh,
here.
I see it.
What do you guys think?
Well, I think that in the right because 3/4 flyer for 5, it's fine. It's a common, so give it some slack. I think that you can like cast Magma Jet, scry 1, put it on the bottom. Magma Jet resolve, scry
Scry
2. I
2.
don't know. You can get a lot of shenanigans with this.
Yeah.
I think that it's fine. It's definitely a mid to high pick.
Yeah.
I like it.
Prognostic
Yes, it's good.
Sphinx. Flying. Discard a card. Prognostic Sphinx gains hexproof until end of turn. Tap it. Whenever it attacks, scry 3.
Wow.
Wow. I mean,
think that if the format's slow enough, this might be playing blue light control just because finding that revelation or finding that D-sphere or verdict, it's so like valuable. Just scrying 3
Yeah. Like,
every
Scry 3...
turn.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to search this. Scry 3. There's no Scry 4. Scry 3. This is the only Scry 3. Let's see if there's anything greater than that. Nope.
No.
Scry 3. So it's the only Scry 3 in the format. And it is whenever it attacks. It doesn't even have to deal damage to anything. So once you tap it to attack, you automatically get to Scry 3. And that is very powerful. It can barely ever get killed because it has hexproof. And really the only thing it's going to end up dying to is a verdict. Or in standard. And in draft, I don't see many ways to kill it.
First pick, bomb, slam.
Slam. Great card. Nothing's really... I think it's one of the best rares, right? Not mythics. The gods are probably sometimes better, but
I don't know.
Rares, this is probably the best one.
Very good slam. Seagull's Revenge.
Return up to 3 target creatures to their owner's hands. Scry 1.
So, Into the Void was a card that said return up to 2 target creatures to the owner's hands for 3 and a blue. That was from Absent Restored, I think. That card was nuts.
So this is that card.
3 creatures, scry 1. So this is, I think, either first, second, or third pick. This card is nuts.
Yeah, if you see it past that, your colors are wide open and keep going those colors.
You know, I wouldn't put it on the same level as Opportunity, but I'd say it's very close.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get you card advantage, which so that's the difference, but it's insane.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sealog monster can't attack unless defending player controls an island. 5 a blue and a blue. Monstrosity 3. When Sealog monster becomes monstrous, target land becomes an island in addition to its other types. This is one of those, I like to call them joke cards. It's not a joke. It can be very powerful, but what I refer to as joke cards are cards that require too much mana, do things that work in some situations but no work in others. Joke cards are like Door to Nothingness, Stormtide Leviathan, cards like that.
Yeah. So if it's as slow as I think it is, which we're going to talk about, it might not. I think that this is going to be playable just because attacking as an 8/8, like it's good. And then also I think if you're not going to play it main board, if you see that they're playing blue X, just put it in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if they're playing blue, it's very good. But the thing is, a player might just wait for it to pay the 7 mana and then kill it. Like he'll hold the removal spell.
Yeah.
Which
There's
is
not that
really
much
bad.
like just destroy target creature. Most of it's like in red, deal 1, deal 2 damage. In black, target creature has
really?
Or
-4/-4.
destroy target black creature, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater, things like
So I
that.
don't think there's actually as much removal as you guys are saying there is.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the rest. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shipbreaker Kraken. 6 blue and a blue, monstrosity 4. This creature isn't monsters. Put 4+1/+1 counters on it. I don't know why I'm reading the monsters. Most of you guys know what monsters does. When Shipbreaker Kraken becomes monstrous, tap up to 4 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap for as long as you control Shipbreaker Kraken.
This card is beautiful.
Yep.
I love it. Just like
Is it really beautiful?
the flavor behind.
It's pretty ugly. But anyway.
The thing is that, a 6/6 for 6 unlimited is fine. It's okay. If you get to 8 mana and they don't have an answer, you win.
Yeah.
A 10/10,
Yeah.
and you claustrophobia for other guys, it is very difficult to lose. So I
Yeah.
really like this guy.
Stymied Hopes. 1 and a blue. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. Scry 1.
So if the standard format's aggressive, then I think this might make it in over the what's it called?
Dissolve?
Yeah,
Dissolve. Just because being able to counter their curve and scrying 1 to get a verdict or something, I think it's good. So it might see some standard play. Maybe I don't know how it compares to Syncopate.
Oh, you can counter Supreme Verdict, by the way.
No. So you can find a Supreme Verdict.
But you can still scry 1.
Yeah.
That's one actually interesting thing. Render Silent, which says counter target spell, its controller can't cast any spells this turn. You can still target a Supreme Verdict, and they still can't cast any more spells after that. Just saying.
Did you and Jack have a bet about that?
Yeah, I think I won that bet. Right?
I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway.
Swan Song. Counter target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell. So it's Dispel with the added ability to counter an enchantment. Its controller puts a
Or
2...
sorcery.
What?
Or sorcery.
Right. Or sorcery. Enchantment or sorcery, but they get a 2/2. It's not as... It's hard to say.
I think that this has more modern capabilities just by stopping some combos.
I think they're actually, you know what? It's made for countering A bestow, B gods.
No, it's made for standard, right?
Well, I mean, like I said, the thing is that just keeping a 1 mana and countering, like, the thing is that this and Spell Pierce, I don't know, I think that Spell Pierce is still better, but just being able to have a hard counter to just stop their combos is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Thassa, the blue god, what you've all been waiting for. As long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, Thassa isn't a creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. 1 in a blue, target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. Okay, before Jack starts saying it's insane and all that, what he's about to say is that it costs 3 mana, is the cheapest planeswalker, scry 1 is powerful, and it can't be blocked this turn. But what I'm going to say is remember the color that it's in. It's in blue. We're probably talking about standard potential right now. I think draft, it's pick 1 all the time if you're going blue. In standard, blue decks are going to be Revelation, Verdict, Aetherwing decks. Those are going to be, that's the order, like, it's going to be Verdict, kill their aggro attack, Revelation to that Aetherwing, get the Aetherwing, kill them. That's really how blue decks work. And those decks, so they run cards like Aetherwing. Giving Aetherwing unblockable, wait a second, it already does that, and for 1 less mana. So that's not going to be as powerful. Scry 1's going to be powerful. And now I'm going to let Jack say what he wants to say.
Okay. The thing is that being able to play this on turn 3...
Turn 3, I told you he'd say that, yep.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while. Being able to play this on turn 3, and, like, if you're in blue-green and have, like, a Colonial Hydra, if you give it unblockable, they can't do anything about it, GG.
Yep.
Also, being able to find a Colonial Hydra with it, I love this card just because of how versatile it is, because every upkeep you scry 1, so you're looking at your draws every single turn.
Yeah.
So that's already fine. And then it's better. Like, if a 5/5 indestructible is very close to, like, a 5/6 indestructible.
Yeah.
So I'd put this as the second best god.
After Peripherals, right?
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about. What's the next color? I always forget the color. Next is black, then red. So we'll talk about when we go through red. Okay, Jordan, do you have anything to say?
I mean, bomb.
Yeah, I mean, draft, I don't think there's any question about it. It is a bomb. 5/5 indestructible. I think there's like 3 ways to kill it with exiling effects. So it's, and then when it becomes a creature, also the thing about the devotion in draft is that with no real board wipes in this format, apart from the red deal 3 to every creature, with no real board wipes, there are going to be board stalls. You're going to have 5 or 6 creatures on each side, depending on who gets to monstrosity first, who can make their creature bigger, who has the 100-handed one that can block their opponent's board, and so on. And when you're in that kind of board state, devotion is going to add up, and you might end up having 5 pretty often. So the gods are going to be very, very powerful in those situations. So then you're going to have a 5/5 indestructible you can swing in every turn. They probably won't have a creature that blocks it too well. And this guy, he can make himself unblockable, so that is very powerful in draft.
Okay, let's go on.
Thassa's Bounty, 5 in a blue, draw 3 cards, not opportunity, but close. Target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So if this was just opportunity, it would be much better, because drawing the extra card, making them put cards into, or making yourself even, but like I said earlier, there isn't too many ways to interact with your graveyard, so I don't think it's as powerful as opportunity. So
I'd happily play it.
Yeah, no, it's a great card. Let's say 4th through 5th pick. Maybe before that even.
Yeah, like, Urban Evolution, I think it was called.
Or yeah.
Was this, but it was 1 less mana, and I think it was better, because milling 3 a mess.
Well,
Yeah,
Urban Evolution will
That's
let you.
pretty bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, Urban Evolution will let you play an extra land.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I played in my standard Bant deck for a while. It is a very, very powerful card, and I expected to see a lot of play after rotation. But right now, let's talk about Theros. So yeah, Thassa's Bounty, worse than Opportunity. 3 cards is generally irrelevant, unless you have something like, I mean, it's irrelevant, basically.
actually,
Yeah, it's fine.
I think so I don't know. I can't really remember how good was Urban Evolution in Gate Crash.
Great.
It was worse in Gatecrash than it would have been in almost any other of the recent formats, mainly because by turn 5, one deck has the other guy at 5, and that guy has them at 7.
It was still
Yeah,
good.
so is this?
yeah.
It might be if this format is very fast, it might not be as good as
Yeah. Like, Opportunity
seems.
was it's like a slam, pack one, pick one. Because
this format
blue
is
was
just so slow.
blue was the best color, and
Let's go on.
Opportunity was a just win game card. Okay, Thassa's Emissary, bestow for 5 and a blue. It's a 3/3. Whenever Thassa's Emissary or enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And enchanted creature gets +3/+3.
So it's a scroll thief for 1 more mana and +2/+0. That's already good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like with all these good bestow creatures, that's just icing on a cake. Giving a creature +3/+3 for 6 mana is fine, but when they're forced to like double block or kill it, then you get another 3/3. So I think that this is very high, like second or third pick, maybe first. I don't know.
I'll be if I pick first. If there's nothing in the pack and I first pick this, I wouldn't be even sad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like first picking a Rituala. I
Yeah.
mean, it's good. It's it's not insane,
I actually like this more than Ruwala, but anyway.
Well,
Try-
yeah. I'm just Jack. I'm just
Triton Fortune Hunter. Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Triton Fortune Hunter, draw a card. Like we've been talking about over and over, Heroic is powerful if you have the cards to support it, and sometimes in draft that's hard to do. People might end up building some crazy standard Heroic deck, but until that day, cards with Heroic, unless their Heroic abilities are insane, which we've seen a few, Heroic is going to be on the downside. It's going to be worse than Bestow and Scry. So,
Okay.
Triton's Shore Thief,
Bad.
it's just a blue 1/2, pretty much crap.
Yep.
It's horrible. There are very, very few 1-power guys. Half of them have flying. Everything kills this. Very few things have one. No, it's horrible. It's a
Don't
chump
play it,
blocker.
ever.
You do not want this in your 23. Your deck is horrible if it's in your 23. You don't want it. Try.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry. It's horrible.
Don't make people feel bad.
Okay, Triton
I'm
Shore
going
Thief.
to
I'm
explain
sorry.
This card, okay?
What?
I'm going to explain this card, okay?
Explain it.
Yes.
How good it is.
Triton Tactics. When you first look at this card, I'm pretty sure 99% of people are just going to be like, huh? So, pretty much what happens is that you give 2 creatures +0/+3. You untap them. So, normally you're going to play it while they're attacking. So, you block, and then at the end of the combat step, tap those guys that you blocked with your creatures that you targeted with this.
Okay, say that one more time.
So at the end of the combat, tap those creatures that you blocked with that were targeted by this.
So, tap your creatures. So, untap your creatures.
Tap the creatures that you blocked with, pretty much.
Yes.
That you targeted.
Really?
Yeah.
So I think when the people first look at it, it's like, it has so many words, it's 1 mana, it probably sucks. I love this card.
No. You got it wrong. Untap 2 creatures that you control. Block 2 of their creatures.
That's what I said.
And then tap their creatures.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
tap.
I said.
No, you said it the other way.
Yeah, you said.
You said you tap your own creatures.
No, I said tap the creatures that were blocked by the creatures that you targeted.
No.
With
We'll
this.
look.
This
afterwards,
is just
we'll
how
look at the video.
confusing the card is.
Okay. Anyway, I like it.
It's a wall of
Heroic.
frost. It makes your creatures a wall of frost.
Guys, red, white, heroic. This card is the nuts in that deck.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm not actually sure if it triggers heroic.
It
Yeah,
does.
because
Target
targets.
creatures. It gets targeted.
Okay.
Vaporkin.
Yeah.
Sounds Russian.
Vaporkin, Emil.
Vaporkin. Doesn't
Wow.
sound Russian anymore. 1 in a blue,
was
2/1.
kinda pathetic.
Flyer. Vaporkin can block only creatures with flying.
It's good.
It's good. I don't think it's going to be used for blocking as much.
No, it's a 2-power flyer for 2.
It gives
so
blue
it's
the
good.
aggressive touch that it
It's
needs.
evasion.
Yeah,
I like
It's,
it.
I like it.
also, it's good with bestow.
I mean, when we say I like it, we don't mean take it first pick. We mean it's a solid pickup. It's going to be your 15th to 23rd playable.
No, it's more than 15th, 23rd. I pick it up 5th, 4th, maybe.
I mean, when you're
Just because how much damage you can get in with this 2-drop, that's why I like it.
so that's assuming you play it turn 2. Let's say you're on the play. Let's give you the
Yeah.
benefit of the doubt. You attack with it turn 3, you attack with it turn 4. By then there are so many. Okay, I'm going to do this. Control F flying. Apple F flying. 34 flyers.
Okay.
That's a lot actually.
Okay.
It's not
A
that.
lot of them are like Cavalry Pegasus and cards that people won't even be playing.
I would happily trade. Okay.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be playing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Anyway. So
Okay.
It's
It's
pretty
good. It's good.
Voyage's End.
Voyage's End. So this is a dramatic
Awesome.
rescue that scries instead of gaining
It's
2
an
life.
unsummon with Scry, and you'll stop complicated things.
Okay. Yeah, it's unsummon for an extra amount on the scry.
So unsummon is fine. This is obviously, you're gonna play it if you get it.
Yeah.
Solid
pickup.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's good.
Wave.
Is it standard playable?
Probably not.
No.
I doubt it.
Wave Crash Triton. Heroic, when you cast a spell that targets Wave Crash Triton, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step.
It blocks. If you have enough heroic, then it's good. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't play it in my 23.
Anything else to say? Anything else to say about blue cards in general?
This seems like one of the fairly more, tries to slow the game down with the late flyers.
Draw some cards, scry a lot.
Yeah, I like it.
I like blue. I
It's
think
good.
at the end we're gonna set up a ranking of all the colors, and blue shouldn't be in the bottom half.
Okay, great.
It's probably
See you
better
guys.
than- yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, we're signing out. See you guys next time, and we'll be doing black tomorrow. See you. Bye.
Hello.
Toodaloo.